just make sure this is. Can you all see the flag that it's all in clear picture here? You can see it all. All right, that's good. All right, here we go. We got all the merchandise good. All the Seahawks and Bills gear is out and being shown because we get to flex this week after week 1 of NFL action on and off the field with Derf and Dylan. We already got Josh in the building. What's up, man? He was a big fan of our last show.
Yeah,
he's back. Exciting. Got a couple eyeballs here. Very excited. Very excited. I'm just pumped. I mean. I watched every single football game well, that's not true. I watched every hour of football section. Like I watched all of Thursday night's game. I watched all of the Seahawks game. I watched a couple of 4:00 games. I watched the Sunday night game all the way through, and I watched both Monday night football games beginning to end, which I didn't think I was going to do for the light game, being on the East Coast.
Yeah.
It really wasn't worth it, to be honest, the Titans and Broncos. That didn't really pan out to be what I thought it was going to be. But, Fred, how was your football weekend?
It was good. You know, we started out on Thursday, and then Sunday was just nice. I got to watch the Bills win, get the W at home. Watched one of the 4:00 games. I think it was Tampa Bay and New Orleans, so that was a good one. I probably only watched about a quarter and a half of the Sunday night game, just working at 6 a.m. You kind of can't stay up too late. It's a little rough.
That's rough. Don't miss that.
But then last night, I ended up watching, I want to say, through the third quarter of the first game. Didn't see a single second of the second game, but I watched the highlights this morning.
You didn't miss much. No. I'm kind of jealous of you. The fact that you went to bed and didn't get sucked into that garbage. That was hard to watch. And we'll talk about that game and actually all of the games here at the, 3/4 of the show will probably be NFL because that's what we do here on and off the field. We talk football because that is how we roll. Packers. Ew. Man, I'm not gonna lie. The Packers, they kind of blew my mind this weekend.
Yeah,
they kind of shocked me. So we'll talk about that, all the games. But first, since you're here, do all these things. You got to follow. You give the like. You give the subscribe and the share. And Derf just loves telling you exactly where to do all that.
Absolutely. So you can follow, like, and share on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And subscribe to our YouTube channel at On and Off the Field because you want to see that. Make sure to rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts so we know how we're doing and what you like or dislike about the show. Because it's you, the listeners, and the viewers that are most important to us to make sure that we have a great show. And you can find all these links at onandoffthefield.com along with our fundraising efforts and to learn more about Dylan, myself, and this award-winning show.
Oh, my God, I forgot to say it. The awards are off to the side right now, and I completely forgot. Oh, my God, I am so sorry. Let's start the show over. Welcome to the award-winning podcast, On and Off the Field with Derf and Dylan. Follow, like, subscribe, and share. Fred, where can people do that? No. God. Oh. Thank God you're here. For those who don't know, this is why we brought Fred on the show. He's got to be my other 3/4 of my brain here because I forget everything. I lose track. I lose my train of thought constantly. That is why we brought Fred on. Plus his charming personality that, honestly, when I was gone, I think the shows did better. So I think that,
we'll
I don't know. Fred might have to do a spinoff show just on his own. People want to see that. Apparently. I got a lot of hate. Oh, thank God it's Fred doing the show and not Dylan. God, thank goodness.
Oh.
Oh, we did our first week of fantasy football for the on off the field football fantasy football league. Both Derf and I got the win.
Yeah.
Got the dub.
Oh, yeah.
And we pooped on our opponents.
Yeah, we did.
I think we were the top 2 scorers in the league. You got what, like 153 something?
157, I think, yeah.
And I got 150, 145, something like that. We lit it up.
Oh, yeah.
Epic first week. So, and everyone else, they're still just trying their best. Try and keep up. The hosts can't win our own league. We can. I'll be happy to, but doesn't make for good news.
Probably frowned upon.
Yeah. I might have to tank the last week. Like if we're going against each other in the Super Bowl, like that's not gonna that's a bad look.
Yeah.
Official word on the On the Field gaming page. My internet sucks. I'm working on it. We're trying to get better. So it might be a little while before we can officially stream, but we're trying, just so you know. So make sure you go follow. Let's get to the 100 followers that I need to really get that page started. We'll get there. The merchandise, that's at onotherfield.com. That's probably not really a topic in its own. It's probably just, you can go use OOTF at checkout, 10% off. Get your merch, get your stickers, get your shirts, get your iPhone cases. Let everyone know about On and Off the Field, no matter where you are. And that's that. Joe, it's a long season. Plenty of time for you to fall apart, Dylan. I think, are you talking about fantasy football? Yes, 100%. If you're talking about fantasy football, I will fall apart, 100%. Because I sabotage myself. Every single season, I'm a waiver wire beast. That's what I do. I go into free agency, and if I see a guy projected to do 0.01 points better than my guy, we're swapping. That's how I...
Oh, man.
I lose a game, because it's usually after I lose a week, I'll find whoever did bad, and I will, just out of spite, I'll kick you off my team for somebody else. I don't even care. It's not a healthy strategy, but that's how I play. But if you're ready, let's get into some of the other sport. There's basketball on right now.
Yeah.
Derf, do we have a live update
of
the Celtics Heat? Which I think is this the first game of the Eastern Conference Finals?
Yeah.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Yeah, it just kicked off probably about a half hour ago.
Yeah, I think it was about 6:30.
Yeah, so it's just about the end of the first quarter, and Celtics are up 26-18.
26-18. All right. But I feel like we've seen the Celtics here before, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
We've seen the Celtics with a lead before. So let's not get too excited, Fred. Let's calm down over there. Let's calm it down. So that's kind of exciting. He's so one of them will be going to the, what do they call it? Just the finals?
NBA finals.
All right, so that's not exciting. It's not like a Super Bowl or the World Series or the Stanley Cup. It's just the finals.
No, just the NBA finals, yeah.
That's lame. Get better, NBA. Get better. We also got the Nuggets, who this is mind-blowing. Right? The Nuggets came back from down 3-1 in the series. 3-1 to force a Game 7. And they played tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. With what you've seen out of the Nuggets and in part out of the Clippers, or the lack thereof, who you got?
I'm going to be bold, and I'm going to take the Nuggets.
Woo! Is this the only other time this has really happened, or is it just a final stat where Cleveland came back down 3-1 against Golden State when LeBron was there? Is that just a final stat?
Well,
or is that playoffs in general to come back down from 3-1?
Well, maybe playoffs in general, but Denver did this on the series before, though, too.
Did they really?
Yeah, they could potentially be doing back-to-back Game 7 down 3-1 to win it.
Boy, wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
God, I didn't know that. They came back down from 3-1 against the Jazz. I did not.
Yeah.
It must have been so long ago, I just forgot, maybe. TJ coming in here. What's up, bye? Boston in 4. Oh, kidding. Of course, he's kidding. He's throwing shade on your Celtics.
Oh, man.
Throwing
That's
some
okay.
shade. I got the Clippers tonight. We'll disagree.
All right.
I think the Clippers realize, oopsie, we shouldn't have gotten to this point.
Right.
I think they lock it down tonight. So I'll take the Clippers. They'll go on to play the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. Heat Celtics on right now. Major League Baseball announced they're going to do a bubble.
Nice.
For their playoffs. And the World Series will be held in the Rangers' new stadium down there in Texas.
Interesting. Yeah.
You know,
yeah, they got to do something.
It was possible all along. We're doing it.
Right.
It's a bubble. We're a little late, but we have finally admitted that a bubble was possible. Granted, It's a little bit of less teams. Like with the expanded playoffs, what are you kicking out? Like 40% of the league is not going to be inside the bubble.
Right. Yeah.
So you probably could have done a bubble, and this is them saying, once they figured out they could, all right, we'll just cut our losses here. We'll put it in for the playoffs. So hopefully, we'll have an uninterrupted by COVID playoff because we're still getting interrupted. The Mariners and Athletics series was postponed last weekend because the Athletics tested positive. That's just, it's just what we're doing right now with COVID, and it's annoying.
Right.
That baseball's the only one still worried about this. NFL had 0 positive tests from this past week of football. 0. And you got games still being postponed for baseball. Get it together. Get it together, baseball. Josh, Clippers in a blowout tonight. So it seems like you're out on an island there, Fred. With
all right,
Boston in 6. So TJ's still with Boston. You still got him on your side. Clippers in 6. Oh, season 6 Celtics. Sorry, Clippers in 6. That doesn't make sense. Yes, we're going to be talking some fantasy football. We already talked about our league. We'll probably come back around to it. I'd be willing to bet because we just kind of ramble. So it's most likely to come up at some point. And then no playoff games in Buffalo for Major League Blue Jays anyways. That would have been cool if the Blue Jays made the playoffs and then we'd have it in Buffalo. That would have been cool.
That would have been real cool.
It's not like we'd be able to go to it anyways.
But it would be here.
It would be here. It would have been cool just to say, yes, you are. How'd you do? How'd you do this? Because I don't know what your team name is. Off the top of my head, we just reviewed who won. I don't remember what your team name was. And Yahoo's stupid like that. Like it doesn't tell you like normally with ESPN it says, my ESPN league's name is Yeet and Skeet, and then right below it says, Dylan Moran. So
right.
Yahoo doesn't do that. It's stupid. The Dallas Stars are in, like we all knew they were going to be. So congratulations to the boys at Strikeout Beer. I know you're happy about that, but it'll be all for naught once the Lightning beat the Islanders tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it will be the Stars and Lightning most likely, unless the Islanders decide they want to do something like Miracle on Ice kind of style. I'm in y'all's lead. Whiskey Breeze. Whiskey Breeze did win, I think. I think Whiskey Breeze won, if I'm not mistaken. And then the Stars in 7. Wow, Stars beating the Lightning.
Wow. But in 7 though, that's a full series there.
That's what I want. I think that's what everyone would.
Oh, that's what we need.
Yeah. And I want to get to this point in a minute, but we got to get through the rest of other sports. College football played this weekend. Did you watch any of it?
No.
There's just so much. There's so much other stuff going on right now. College football is the least of my concerns. I turned on the Syracuse game just to watch them go like 3-and-out on offense, and North Carolina just destroyed them. Big Ten announcements coming today. Sometime supposedly. I don't know. Did that happen today?
I haven't seen anything yet, but that's the potential announcement is later today. So, it should be anytime now. But they're apparently one of the Nebraska officials was recorded on a hot mic, and they said that there should be an announcement today sometime. And the theory is here that potentially, or the rumor is that potentially, middle October, Big Ten could be coming back.
Yeah, I've heard the rumblings of some kind of vote and talks and whatnot, but I didn't know. I've been so far off of college football. I really just don't care. I've never been a college football fan, and with everything going on this year, there's NBA and hockey and baseball and football right now. College football is like my mind's not there. And then the U.S. Opens this week, and I see your pick.
Yeah.
Would you like to officially announce your pick for the U.S. Open?
Well, I'm going to pick Dustin Johnson to win the U.S. Open.
Hot take. No, not really.
Not really. He's the protected favorite.
I don't. Can I pick Tiger just for fun? He's playing.
If you want. Yeah.
He won the Masters last year, right? Or did he win what did he win last year? It was one of those big ones.
Couldn't tell you, but yeah.
Maybe it was the Open. Who knows? I don't remember either. I don't think it was the Masters because that's where you get the jacket. I don't remember him putting a jacket on.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I'll take Tiger just for fun, but Dustin Johnson's my real pick. If I was going to put some money on it just for fun for an underdog, I'll take Tiger. I'll put like $50 on Tiger, but I'll put the rest of my money on Dustin. So we're going to hit the NFL now. We're done with that. Other sports, be gone. We're moving on to the NFL, baby.
Yeah.
Let's go. So we got some fun stats here for NFL news before we get to the games. I noticed this. Is this something you really noticed in the moment? Because for me, I noticed this and I loved it. Week 1 NFL holding penalties were down 78% in this week 1 from last year's week 1. Whew.
Wow.
There were only 18 flags thrown for offensive holding, and last year there were 94 in week 1. And I noticed it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was definitely a much cleaner game from the offensive line, which was good to see.
And granted, 2 of them came against our rookie right guard, Damian Lewis. So 16 were on other people, at least. Two of them on the same guy for our team. There's 32 teams, so that's not even a flag per team. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And I think that there might have been discussions, backdoor discussions, if they're going to start loosening up on rules. And I think they really have, because I watched a couple of, hits on quarterbacks this weekend and a couple of hard hits in the secondary this weekend, especially the Seahawks-Falcons game.
Yeah.
And last year, 100% would have been flags.
Right.
There was an early first quarter hit. I think it was Benson Mayowa. The Seahawks hit Matt Ryan on a throw and then kind of gave him a little twirl and throw to the ground, but like a soft twirl and throw to the ground.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, here comes the flag. Like, you idiot.
Right.
You didn't have to do that. No flag.
Wow.
I saw a lot of that this weekend. So I think the refs were told, let's try and keep it in the pocket, a little bit more this year.
Makes sense. Let them play.
That's what people want. Football's finally back. We don't want to watch a flag fest. We've been waiting for this.
Right.
Everyone wants this. We want to see people play. We don't want to see your freaking flags flying. But of course, the flags that do get thrown are the ones people that get mad about. Michael Gallup, offensive pass interference from that game that could have been put them in position to tie the game, if not score a touchdown and win against the Rams there on Sunday night. What was the other one people got mad about? There was a couple this weekend. No, I know that was the big one.
Yeah.
Did you see the play?
No,
didn't see that one. Yeah, Michael Gallup. There was an extension of the arm from Michael Gallup, and that's why I think it was the correct call. But Jalen Ramsey kind of sells it a little bit with the head fake. Yeah.
Oh, I did see that play. Yeah, that was some pretty good acting there by Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah. He kind of stole it, but there was full extension of the arm too. Like, you can make fun of Ramsey for selling it, like kind of flopping, but I think overall it was still a good call.
Yeah. I don't know if this was majorly talked about, but in the Bengals-Chargers game, Joe Burrow is driving down the field, end of the game, and AJ Green's in the end zone and pushes off to come back to the ball.
That was the other one.
Like, come on.
Yeah, I saw that one, and it was about the same amount as the Michael Gallup one. You know, it was a full extension of the arm. There's a clear stopping of movement from the defensive player, so he can't make a play. You have to, you kind of have to call that. It's obviously making separation for yourself, which is, you know, you hate to see it. Like the determination of a game comes from a penalty, but guess what? You know, there's rules in place for a reason, so you can't just let that slide. But with the good comes the bad. 19 missed field goals from kickers this weekend, 47 of 66, which is 71.2%. And over the past 10 years, the average field goals made for kickers is 83.9, so well below average in week one.
Yeah, that was there was some pretty bad missed kicks.
Yeah, I think Gostkowski was, the leader in the clubhouse. He had a very bad day.
Oh, yeah.
Granted, he made up for it, you know,
Yep.
at the end of the game where it matters, but he had a rough day. Randy Bullock for the Bucks, or for the Bengals. We'll talk about Randy Bullock here coming up. Bad weekend.
Yeah.
I don't think there was. Young Ho Koo from the Falcons missed a field goal.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Bad. I think Jason Myers hit all of his, so go Hawks. TJ over here, not to jump ahead, but the Bucks overrated ? Or did they just get the Saints on a good day? You watched the Bucks and Saints. I did not, because they were blacked out and I don't have cable. I was using the Sunday ticket.
Oh, okay.
I was watching the stats and watching the scoring, and from what I understood, it was a rough day for the Bucks.
Oh, yeah. Very rough day. And it was all that hype was just let out of the balloon, and I was like, all right, here we go.
Let the crumbling begin, as the Bucks are 0-1, and the Patriots with Cam Newton and Bill Belichick are 1-0. We will certainly talk more about the Bucks as we go down the road here. But one last piece of NFL news: the Week 1 off the field hero, because this is something the NFL does. They put something out there who they're I don't know what they call, like, NFL Community Award for the week, whoever like the top guy is. And Titans safety Kevin Byard hosted 2 back-to-school events that benefited more than 100 disadvantaged families in the metropolitan Nashville area. We took it one step further, as we do here at On and Out the Field. Let me try and, oh God, this could go bad, as you all have found out when I share my screen.
Oh.
Godspeed. All right, here we go. This is the BayardFamilyLegacy.org page. This is Kevin Byard's. Is it Byard? Bird?
Yeah, Kevin Byard, yeah.
Okay. It sounds weird to say. It's a weird last name, but this is his page, his foundation. We can go to the About tab here first to get an idea. The Bayard Family Legacy Fund believes everyone deserves a second chance. We exist to stand in the gap and provide a little grace to anyone who needs it. Our goal is to provide families and individuals in our community with hope for a better tomorrow. We all fall down, but the most important thing is to get back up, and sometimes you just need a bit of help to do so. And there's a little bit more down here, just talks about Kevin himself. I hate this because this isn't centered. Whoever designed this website, please center that.
Yeah.
That my OCD went off the rails when I saw that. But, you know, that's a small detail. But basically, he has 4 programs here: the Bayard Family Legacy Fund annual football camp, and then he has a grant, which I'm sure is, if I didn't click on this, I'm gonna see what happens. This is the one I'm more interested about. We believe that everyone needs a little grace. We talked about that. So it doesn't really talk about what it is. Tell us your story. Have you or someone you know fallen on hard times? Has something major impacted their life? Please share us with your remarkable story or nominate someone who you think deserves a little grace. So I would assume this is a Grant, get some money if you're falling on hard times, and he picks someone.
Nice.
Sounds about right. And then he does a Thanksgiving and Christmas fund as well. And as we already just found out, he also did the back to school event. So very
good.
Well done, Kevin.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we love to talk about on the show. Just throw that in there for everyone to know and talk about and love. And hopefully next week we'll have another great person to talk about. But that's it. Here we go. The time has come to talk about week 1 of the NFL in full detail.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Can you feel it in the air? Can you feel your hairs tingling on your arms, the goosebumps bumping as we get to talk about real football? Oh, my God. It's so amazing. So the Texans lost to the Chiefs in Kansas City, which is not in the state of Kansas, 34-20. The game started with 2 drops. I tweeted this. I tweeted it. I don't tweet things. I hate Twitter. It took me forever to put on and out the field on Twitter. I still don't like it that much. I don't browse Twitter at all. I post some things. I do not browse Twitter. But I had to. The first 2 plays from scrimmage for the Texans, it was 2 drops from Will Fuller, which hit him directly in his hands, and David Johnson, where he was wide open, hit him directly in the hands, and he dropped it. I'll bet you one thing. DeAndre Hopkins probably wouldn't have dropped those balls. Oh! Everyone says that, though. It's not. My God. Oh, strikeout beers just in time. What's going on? I think, if I'm not mistaken, Brandon won between the Strikeout Beers Week 1 matchup in the OOTF Fantasy Football League. Nutsack Express beat Minshew's team, which I believe is Allen. Let make sure I'm right on that. So I thought, that was my biggest takeaway. Because David Johnson did come up with a touchdown in the first quarter. Nice run. Everyone's like, David Johnson's back. Oh, he's healthy. He's running all over the place. Where was he for the other 3 quarters? He got me my fantasy points. He got me like 18 points. Thanks. I appreciate it. Loved it. But they were nowhere to be found for the rest of the 3 quarters. That team as a whole. And Deshaun Watson didn't have his security blanket. In a pinch and 3rd down, he's looking around going, he doesn't have someone he could just toss it up to and be like,
right,
I know he's going to catch this for the first down. He doesn't have that person this year.
Right, yeah.
And I think it bothers him. It makes him a little bit more frantic because he was getting the ball out early in the first half, and he starts getting some pressure put on him, especially by Chris Jones. He starts running around. He can't just throw the ball and be like, oh, D-Hop's over there somewhere, toss it up, and he comes down with it. He doesn't have that this year.
No, yeah.
And it showed.
Yeah. It definitely, the Chiefs are the Chiefs for a reason. I think this game just overall just clearly showed that's why they won the Super Bowl last year. That's why they kept all their players, miraculously kept these players on the roster, and probably why they're Super Bowl favorites for this year coming up.
Yeah, and as Strikeout Beer comes in here, he says those nut sacks came in hot. Yeah. Tough matchup. Houston's not good. First game, weird off season in practice. They'll get it going though. It's just not fair. And this, I know it's not sexy to say the Chiefs will win the Super Bowl because it's like the obvious pick. Like, oh, the Chiefs will win the Super Bowl. Like, no one cares. You're not going to talk about that. But they didn't lose anyone. Chris Jones is getting better. He was a beast on Thursday.
Yeah,
it seems so long ago. It was 5 days ago. He was a monster, and the rest of that defense was was flying all over the place. And then they just got better. They got freaking Carlos Hyde-Alaire. I think I got his name right.
Clyde
Which I think
Edwards Hilaire.
the H is silent, I learned.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think they talked about it in the game. So it's Clyde Edwards-Alaire.
Oh, okay.
So I figured that out. So it's C. Clyde Edwards, C-E-E. We can call him C.
Ah, there you go.
For short, call him C. Everyone will be confused if we do that, so we're not going to do that.
CE squared.
CE squared. There we go. Write it down. This is why Derf's on the show. Welcome. Thank you for being here. That's a walk-off, Fred. You can go now. That's
okay,
a walk-off.
see you later.
H is silent. Yeah, strikeout beer. Thank you. The H is silent. He says he'd be impressed if they went back-to-back. He had a phenomenal game, and he was everything everyone thought he was going to be. He was running between the tackles. He was slipping out of these arm tackles. He was amazing. Yeah. Over 20 fantasy points. I have him on one of my teams. You have him on your team. Which this week, Fred and I are going head-to-head this week.
Oh, yeah.
I have Josh Allen as my quarterback, so it's kind of like bittersweet. You want him to do well, but he's on my fantasy team, so you want him to do okay. Yeah. Enough to win the game, but let's ease up a little bit.
There you go. Yeah, there you
go. So the Chiefs beat the Texans. Not really too surprising. Texans have some work to do to figure out who Deshaun's number one's going to be, which for most of the game looked like it was going to be Will Fuller, but do you really want to trust Will Fuller to be your number one for a full season?
It's only a matter of time until he's not on the field. So
that's a gamble. So the next one I have on the docket, I take this from my ESPN app, all these scores. So it has my favorites listed first. These games don't really go in order. So the next one is actually the Seahawks at the Falcons.
All right.
Sorry.
I mean, it was a 1:00 game, so it's in order still.
It's technically still in order. It'll be weird next week when the Seahawks play Sunday night. I'll have to kick this to the back. I'll have to remember to do that. So the Seahawks at the Falcons. Man, Russell Wilson's MVP campaign has begun. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Everyone I heard that said who's going to be this year's MVP, a vast majority are saying it's Russell Wilson's year to shine. It's time to go.
Oh yeah, definitely it should be.
And after the game, all the post game conferences, the Seahawks finally let the truth fly because they kept it kind of low key in the offseason, so nobody knew it was coming. After the first game, Pete Carroll, Brian Schottenheimer, Russell Wilson, everyone came out and said, "Yeah, it's Russ. He's running the offense." Brian Schotty is just he's kind of there. He's calling some plays, but guess what? When Russell Wilson gets up there, full playbook. There was a 4th and 5 that the Seahawks had. And Russell Wilson was just like, nah, we good. He stays out there. He lines up the offense. The Falcons are celebrating. Yeah, we got him the punt or whatever. Yeah, we're good. Oh, crap, they're running a play. Yeah, 4th and 5, 38-yard touchdown to DK Metcalf where you could not have handed the ball off cleaner. It was a 38-yard handoff. That's how clean that deep ball was.
Oh, yeah. That was, oh, man, that was good.
It almost put me in the hospital because the baby was sleeping, so I couldn't yell. So I got it all bottled up. I'm like, over here shaking. I'm like, oh, my God, it was a 4th and 5. The ball's on this man. But this is why people have been wanting Russ to cook. He had 4 incompletions along with 4 touchdowns. God, he's so good at football. And just outside of Russell Wilson, the only thing I got to say is Jamal Adams. If he doesn't play another snap for us, the trade is already worth it. That dude was everywhere on that field. He was a monster all over the field, flying around like a jackrabbit. Crazy.
Yeah, and I saw some of the highlights for Jamal Adams when I watched the in-depth highlights of the game, just trying to get my thoughts together for the game. And the Seahawks were great, but the one thing I noticed that the Falcons weren't doing well was Matt Ryan. And like he had some good passes, like Calvin really had himself a day. But Matt Ryan is just not what he was 5, maybe 6 years ago. That was the biggest thing I noticed out of him. Like he can't scramble. His passes are underthrown, but his receivers are good enough to get them. And it's just a matter of time before this talented Falcons team just gets a new quarterback.
Yeah, I thought that was this year, to be honest. I thought the drafting of a quarterback was coming this season. I'm surprised they didn't. They still trust him. Granted, he throws 450 yards, a couple touchdowns. Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones have a big day. It was a lot of that was in garbage time, let's be fair.
Right. Yeah.
Let's see here. Strikeout Beer is lighting up our comment section. Thank you, as always. MVP, Russell Wilson. He keeps doing that, and he will be. I'm assuming Jamal Adams there. Russell Wilson, these guys say you are the next MVP. Good luck, sir. Oh, maybe he tagged Russell Wilson. I can't tell.
Oh, nice.
If he responds, Strikeout Beer, I will do something for you. I don't know what. I'll just give you stuff. I don't know. Yeah, Matt Ryan's an old dude. Need a new quarterback. Russ for MVP. Hashtag Russ for MVP. So, yeah, that's going to start off the week, season 1-0 right there. That's a good feeling. Another team starting off 1-0.
Yeah.
Ho. I mean, I'll let you take most of this one because this is another one that I couldn't really watch because it was blacked out. But from what I saw, Josh Allen had himself a very good day. I'm not going to say like incredible or anything because I know he had 2 fumbles, but he had a lot of he had passing yards, touchdowns. He had a touchdown on the ground, a lot of rushing. It just seemed like this offense was amazing. Now, I didn't see much of the defense, but I know at least Josh Allen looks like he's showing up. Oh,
absolutely. I mean, at year 3, this is the Josh Allen I want to see. Comes in the first quarter. I thought he ran the ball too much in the first quarter, but some of it was designed, some of it wasn't designed. It's him making the call to pull the option out and take the ball and run. But the passing game was insane for the Bills this week. Run game needs a lot of help, but the passing game, if we're looking at K-Gun offense 2.0 from the 90s, sign me up because that was good. The Stephon Diggs, his first catch, worth it. Worth those trade picks. Absolutely.
Same thing with Jamal Adams, man.
Right.
That first sack, Stephon Diggs, that first catch, all worth it now. Yeah.
Like the Josh Allen feels comfortable with Stephon Diggs, which was nice to see. But also, Stephon Diggs has the hands. Like we just haven't had that elite of a receiver with that work ethic in Buffalo in a while. Like John Brown and Cole Beasley are good, but they seem like they're much like you have to be hitting them at the right time for that ball to be there for them. Stephon Diggs is just going up for it. Like, give me the ball. Let's go. So I thought that was great for Josh Allen. And I hope they turn this run game up a little bit. It was very minimal, it seemed like, against the Jets. The Jets do have a good defensive line, but they're not great. So it's a little concerning for me that the Bills' offensive line couldn't get the ball going on the ground with Devin Singletary. I did like the Zach Moss performance we got of him. He had a receiving touchdown from Allen, minimal yards on the ground, but I think there's promise there down the road. I mean, if anything comes out of this game, Le'Veon Bell's on IR for the Jets for the rest of the year. So when we play the Jets again, there's no Le'Veon Bell.
Well, he's on IR for at least 3 weeks.
I'm going to say it for the rest of the year.
You just think he's done? You just think he's done? You're just calling it? It's
a hamstring. Those are nagging injuries. And
so even if he comes back after 3 weeks, he just injures it again and he's just done for the year. He doesn't want to be there anyways.
No, that's like this team is just like the biggest oof with Adam Gase right now. Like if Adam Gase makes it past week 6, I'll be surprised.
I like making fun of the Browns. I like making fun of, a couple other teams out there.
Yeah.
But the Jets, man. you almost can't make fun of the Jets just because how sad they are. They're almost on par with the Washington football team. But we'll talk about the Washington football team here in a second. But the Jets are just a mess. They don't know what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Strikeout Beer's just tagging everyone. I guess he tagged Josh Allen. Yeah, man. Do it. Let's just see what happens. Bills passing offense will be top half of the league this year. That would be a big deal for them considering they just had a 300-yard passer on Sunday, which I just looked, 312 yards for Josh Allen. First time since 2016. David Timmons, they look real good. And the Jets are the new Browns of this era. Well, I don't even know if you need a new Browns because the Browns are still the Browns.
That is true.
I think there was a bunch of I saw that there's something trending on Twitter for the Browns, and it was basically, so who's your head coach next year? who's it going to be next year? Just because this is Baker Mayfield's fourth new head coach in 3 seasons.
Wow.
If you want me to say something nice about the Browns, it's this isn't fair for Baker having 4 head coaches. There's no consistency. There's no sense of togetherness. Like, there's Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll. They get each other.
Mm-hmm.
There used to be Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. They get each other. Sean McDermott and Josh Allen. They understand each other. You don't have that.
Right.
You don't have that with Cleveland. So Washington football team. Yeah, we're going to talk about them right now, baby.
Yeah.
I think this is easily the biggest upset of the weekend.
Oh yeah.
So, upset of the weekend is the Eagles at Washington losing 27-17.
Oh yeah, I was surprised. Very surprised.
Holy cow. Like the Eagles jump out like 17-0, 14-0 like real quick. And I'm like, that's to be expected. This is the Washington we're going to see this year.
Right.
8 sacks. 8 sacks. 8 sacks. Man. And I would imagine endless pressure. Another game I couldn't watch live, but I'd imagine Carson Wentz spent most of the game on his back by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
This man will be dead by week 4.
Jeez.
If he's not on IR by week 4, I'll be completely shocked. He had 2 early touchdowns, one to Zach Ertz, one to Dallas Goedert. Tight ends are the only thing he has going for him. Deshaun Jackson's old and crippled. Alshon Jeffrey, a little bit younger but crippled. And then they have their crippled first-round draft pick.
No.
Everyone's hurt. Oh, my God. They lost 2 of their offensive linemen for the season and just in training camp alone.
Yeah.
Season-ending injuries. And this is, I don't want to step on your toes here, but this is something I definitely wanted to say. We make a lot of fun of Washington, but if you took the time and went back into a couple of our episodes, I remember saying, if there was one saving grace for this football team, it was this defense.
Yeah.
Or at least this front 7, because that is what they have built. They didn't need Chase Young. No. This defensive front was already very hard to handle. And then you add Chase Young, who had a sack and a half.
Mm-hmm.
This was going to be the thing to keep your eye on. Dwayne Haskins, sure, that's fun. Terry McLaurin, he's the only guy catching balls, I guess. But my goodness, that defensive front. So, sorry, I probably stepped on your toes there a little bit.
Oh, no, you're good. I mean, Washington wasn't as bad as we thought they were. That's my main point here. That they impressed me. I didn't see much of I didn't see any of the game, but I just saw the score and I saw some of the stats that were going on. Very little highlights, but yeah, Washington was like, you guys think we're gonna fall over here? Yeah, watch this. But I mean,
I think that's the Riverboat Ron mentality, though.
Right. I mean, and speaking of Riverboat Ron, holy cow, is that guy a boss? The fact that he's battling cancer right now, coaching this team that it was once point considered the biggest hot mess in the NFL, and goes in at halftime and just gets an IV treatment during halftime and comes back out and coaches. I'm like, what? I mean, if it ever could be a coach of the year, go to Ron Rivera. I think this is the year.
100%. I think you should just get it right now. This dude has cancer and getting IVs at halftime, and he's coaching. He's beating the Eagles, and I don't know. I don't want to give the Eagles too much credit here for being a good team because they're a mess. I think people are sleeping on how big of a mess the Eagles are.
Yeah.
Like I just said, 2 offensive linemen out for the season. Wide receivers are a disaster. Tight ends are good. Tight ends, top class. Like top 4 tight end group, whatever you want to call it. Carson Wentz, injury prone. Defenses, I don't even know who's on defense. They have Fletcher Cox there, but he's like 50 years old. I don't know what the Eagles have. And this is why I didn't take Carson Wentz as my fantasy. I had a choice for fantasy football quarterbacks in one of my leagues. I was staring at Carson Wentz, and I was staring at, I think it was Drew Brees in that league. And I didn't take Carson. Something feels off about that team. And here you go. It's 8 sacks.
Yeah.
God, it's hard to watch. Let's see here. Washington football team leading division. Yes, if there's anything that's more 2020 than this, let me know. But the Washington football team, the one team we were making fun of the most, is the only team in the NFC East with a 1-0 record.
Yeah.
Giants lost, Cowboys lost, Eagles lost. Boy, oh boy, is that something. Oh, that's unbelievable. Because I didn't really even know it until I saw it on paper. Someone posted it after the Cowboys lost, and I was like, once I saw it, oh my God, it's ridiculous. Yeah, TJ here, hats off to Riverboat Ron, battling cancer and taking the IV at halftime. Yeah, head coach of the year. Yeah, I think he will at least have to get the Washington football team to at least a 500 record to be considered. I feel like you have to be successful to a certain degree to win that.
Right.
But just the fact he has cancer and he's coaching, my God, like just give him the trophy.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
This was a heartbreaker for me.
Yeah.
Because in one of my fantasy football leagues, there's also a survivor pool tied to it. And I decided to choose the Lions to win week 1. And I'm already out. So thanks a lot. 21 unanswered points in the fourth quarter from the Bears. And I am out here killing, punching myself in the face. So there was almost a hope because I turned this game near the end because I was watching the score the whole time. And I'm like, what is happening right now? The Lions are killing them. And now what is happening right here? Why is it so close? And then, the Bears just scored their last touchdown. The Lions had the ball with like under a minute left. They're driving down the field. They make a great completion. They're almost there. I think there was a penalty that might have got them like down to the 10-yard line. And DeAndre friggin' Swift. Matt Stafford put a beautiful ball between 2 defenders and hit DeAndre Swift in the chest for a touchdown. And he dropped it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's a heartbreaker there.
I'm not even a Lions fan. I would not care if I didn't pick them for my survivor pool. But that's just. But this goes back to last season. To continue the discussion past my survivor pool pick. They can't win in the fourth quarter. They had 21 unanswered points by the Bears. Ugh. They made Mitch Trubisky look better than Tom Brady. They made Mitch Trubisky look like a top 5 quarterback out of this weekend. And this is what happened. They lost the Packers twice at the end of the game in the fourth quarter both times last year. The Bears. I'm just upset. I'm upset.
Oh, yeah, it's very much like kind of Lions be Lions.
Yeah. That's just disappointing. I know of a specific person that will not be mentioned who had the Lions winning the division this year. No. No, that's not going to happen. Strikeout beer, going back to Washington here, not winning the division. Who's going to challenge them? The Cowboys? Yeah, and stone hands here for DeAndre Swift. The Cowboys have to be the team. And we're going to get to them in a minute. I don't want to jump ahead. I don't want to. We'll talk about the Cowboys here, but the Cowboys should be the team to compete to them. The Packers at the Vikings. Wow. Yeah, if Joshua's still here you go. The freaking Packers. I had no idea this was going to happen.
Yeah, me neither. Once
I saw them running up the score, I was baffled. Because the Vikings have a good defense.
Yeah.
They got me -4 fantasy points in one of my leagues.
Oh.
Yeah, that's fun. I still won because I was crushing it, but Aaron Rodgers, 4 touchdowns. Alan Lazard, 2 of them to Devontae Adams.
Mm-hmm.
It was mostly Rodgers. I think Adams had like 150 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers, 300-plus yards, 4 touchdowns. Crazy day just for offense in general. And what's up with the Vikings, man? Kirk Cousins had a very slow start to that day. Don't let the stats fool you. Kirk Cousins, a lot of that came in garbage time.
Right.
Dalvin Cook, same exact thing. Are they missing Stephon Diggs? That's my question. Is this the effect of this offense already with Stephon Diggs? Because I'm going to look up right now while I present that question to you how Justin Jefferson did.
Yeah, I mean, they could be missing Stephon Diggs there. But, I mean, Adam Thielen had himself a day. I mean, I had him on a couple of my fantasy football teams, and he got me pretty decent points. I want to say it was like 19 points on every team I have him on. I don't know. It's just kind of like the Green Bay's got the Vikings number sometimes, and the Vikings were at home. Like, there's no reason. Like, you're in your own stadium. Win the football game.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson, 2 catches, 26 yards on 3 targets. That's below Stephon Diggs numbers. This is I brought this up in the offseason. I've been corrected many times. Justin Jefferson is not here to replace Stephon Diggs. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But you got rid of Stephon Diggs, and you drafted in the first round a wide receiver. That's almost the definition of a replacement unless you're bringing in a veteran in free agency. So
right.
I don't know what other word you want to use. It sounds like replacement. Okay. Adam Thielen is now your number 1 wide receiver instead of Stephon Diggs. So Stephon Diggs would have been number 2. Justin Jefferson is now your number 2 wide receiver. It's a replacement. I don't care what you say. And he's not better. He's just not.
No.
TJ has the Packers going deep in the playoffs. After a 43-point drop, I don't see why not.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just like last year, they were the worst 13-3 team in the NFL last year, so they'll do it again.
Yeah, maybe they're sick. Maybe they're sick of hearing that. Now they're going to be the best 13-3 team in the NFL.
There you go.
So this one made me look like a fool. Thanks a lot, Fitz Magic. Like more like Fitz not magic. Got him. That's a burn. Yeah, he did not do good.
No.
2 interceptions. Cam Newton had 2 rushing touchdowns and also has his first New England Patriots record already.
Yeah.
He had the most rush yards in a single game for a New England Patriots quarterback. It was 75 yards.
That's because they had 20 years of Tom Brady. It skews the data.
Yeah. I get it's just funny. Like, what other teams are out there have never had a mobile quarterback? I mean, 75 yards. That means you're in your entire franchise since they've been recording this stat. You have never had a mobile quarterback because they had Drew Bledsoe before Tom Brady, which was basically just another Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just been non-mobile pocket passers in New England forever. So 75 rushing yards. That'll get you the record. Congratulations.
There you go.
But yeah, I mean, it's the NFC East. How are you feeling? Are you worried now about the Bills? Because I know you've been cautious. Because you kept saying it was still the Patriots division to lose, or maybe not to lose, but how concerned are you after watching this performance?
I feel like I'm not super concerned. I feel like I want to see what the Bills do against the Dolphins this weekend. I think that's going to be the key how I reference this game, because the Patriots only put up 21 points against the Dolphins, and Fitzmagic threw 2 interceptions. Like, a Bill Belichick team should have scored 35 there. I mean, yes, they have a lot of players that opted out, but I don't know. I don't see the mobility being a factor against the Bills for Cam Newton.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed that the Dolphins really didn't show up on either side of the ball based off of what I saw at the end of last year.
Right.
They're saying Fitzmagic will be the starting quarterback for this weekend as well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Tua's not 100% healthy yet. I know there were some reports that came out of camp saying Tua did not look good. Like, just didn't look good in general being a quarterback. I just want to see him play. If this is just going to be your season, if Ryan Fitzpatrick is not going to be Fitzmagic, just put a knife in and put Tua in there and let's just go to work. I mean, I don't know what you're waiting for.
Right. I definitely think it's sooner rather than later. I mean, they got rid of Josh Rosen, so there's no threat to Tua here for the quarterback position. So it's really his to kind of learn and grow.
Yeah, because then if you put Tua in there, then it's time to, if he underperforms, and you have to tank again, or you don't even actively try to tank, you just really suck. You have to, if you're really at the top of the leaderboards there for draft picks, Trevor Lawrence is still sitting there. That would be bold, but it's not the first time. The Cardinals took quarterbacks and they're in back-to-back first rounds.
Yep.
So it's not unheard of.
Right.
The Raiders beat the Panthers in a, I don't want to say shootout, in a foot race.
I'd say foot race.
I think it's more of a foot race. Josh Jacobs outran Christian McCaffrey with 3 touchdowns and 93 yards. I have him on 2 out of 3 of my fantasy leagues, and I was 1 pick away from having him in all 3. Some guy took him right before me in my other league. That's upsetting. I think that's when I had to take James Conner instead. Still mad about that. Josh Jacobs had a great day, and he's the reason they won. Derek Carr had a game manager style game. Yep. He did good. He didn't turn the ball over, if I'm not mistaken. And Christian McCaffrey, 2 touchdowns, average amount of yards. Well, I'd say below average for Christian McCaffrey average stats.
Right.
But I think they're heading in the right direction. I think, Teddy Bridgewater, Christian McCaffrey, Robbie Anderson had a good touchdown, long touchdown catch. They could be going the right way. They're a young team, just getting started.
Oh, absolutely. They're definitely a young team. But I liked the play that I saw at Teddy Bridgewater from what I saw, because it wasn't like it was anything different that he didn't do with New Orleans when he played for 5 weeks and was 5-0 when Drew Brees was out. Like, it was still the same level of play from him. If not, maybe I saw maybe a touch better. Like, it wasn't as many short throws. It was, the offense is probably set up for him to be successful. And I mean, I didn't see the Raiders winning it, but Josh Jacobs versus CMC, that could be a good matchup here looking down the road. Kind of, it's not like a division rival between 2 running backs, but it's a good just a good one to have.
Yeah, top running backs in the league. I mean, no one thinks about Las Vegas in general, like the Raiders. No one's like, oh, the Raiders, let's keep an eye on that. No one. 34 points.
That's impressive. Yeah,
that's a good outing. 3 touchdowns from Josh Jacobs. I mean, another young running back that might be looking at a payday next season. You never know. Is it only his second year in?
Yeah,
he was a rookie last year. You have to use him up, Las Vegas. Use him up and spit him out. That's the mentality for running backs these days. Well, at least for the fans. People still haven't figured that out in the league. Kamara and Dalvin Cook 5-year extensions. Dalvin Cook for a 5-year extension? Get out of here. 5 years for Dalvin Cook. The dude, stop it. God, I can understand Kamara. I don't understand Dalvin Cook.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. This is the one I couldn't wait for. Oh, God, so excited. The Jaguars beat the Colts. The Jaguars. The Jaguars beat the Colts. Oh, my God, I was crying when I saw that. Gardner Minshew is the first player to ever throw at least 3 touchdown passes and complete 95% of his passes on kickoff weekend. In his last 2 games against the Colts, Minshew has completed 46 of 59 passes for 468 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 1 interception.
That's impressive there. Holy cow. Oh, man.
People, if anyone from the Rod Peterson show is here, especially Clark, because they posted a power rankings for the NFL. If anyone had the Colts in the top 5 of their power rankings, this one's for you. Suck it. I told everybody the Colts are garbage. Phillip Rivers is a nobody. You should not be excited to have Phillip Rivers as your quarterback. Mm-hmm. Yes, it is week 1. Yes, we like to overreact on week 1, but guess what? Phillip Rivers is not a good quarterback. Marlon Mack is hurt. You're stuck with a rookie and Jonathan Taylor. It's a great offensive line. I don't know why everyone's excited about that defense. That defense is no good except for Darius Leonard. That's all you got going for you. Why are people excited about the Colts? I don't understand why people were excited about the Colts. I don't understand where the hype is coming from.
Yeah, I mean, it's that there's like stability there. Like Frank Reich has done a really good job with that team for the most part. Like they're not getting the results that they probably are expecting. Obviously, losing to the Jags this weekend. I mean, not taking anything away from Gardner Minshew, but that defense has talent. It's just being picked apart very easily. And Phillip Rivers is not helping the case.
Yeah, not to be mean to Gardner Minshew at all, because we love him. He was our tagline for season 2. All hail the JockStrap King. Mm-hmm. But let me ask you a question here. Somebody that caught a touchdown pass. Laviska Shenault Jr. caught a touchdown pass from Gardner Minshew. Keelan Cole Sr. caught a touchdown pass and was actually the leading wide receiver this week. I don't know who those guys are.
No, but that's Minshew making the absolute most of a terrible team.
19 of 20 passing, 173 yards and 3 touchdowns. Perfect day, except for whatever that one drop was. I'm going to say it was a drop because Minshew definitely didn't miss a pass.
Right.
There's no way Minshew missed a throw. No way. So please take the Colts out of your top 5, everybody. Just can we let's stop. The Browns at the Ravens.
Oh boy.
Sorry. I didn't mean to laugh that hard. It kind of just came out. My God. I don't know. The Ravens are really good. They're number 2 on everyone's power rankings, and they should be. And the Browns, another new head coach. I don't know whose fault it is at this point. Is it Baker's fault? Can you not get it going? Is the Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt combination just not working? Is not supposed to be what it's not working what it's supposed to be? Mm-hmm. Is it OBJ not being a star wide receiver anymore? I can't blame the defense. They lost 2 of their starters in the secondary. Mm-hmm. They got rid of Schobert, their star linebacker.
Yep.
I feel like the defense had holes, and we all should have expected that. But this offense is supposed to be, with the names they have on that offense, should have been, Ravens, quality. This should have been a shootout.
Yeah.
I don't know where the problem is. I want to say it's Baker, but like we just talked about it earlier, 4 head coaches in 3 years. Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah. I mean, have you seen his new commercial? He's too focused on the furniture in the stadium to worry about throwing passes down the sideline to OBJ.
This was in Baltimore. He didn't need to worry about the furniture there. It's Baltimore.
But it was in the back of his head, Is it
Is it raining is it raining in Cleveland right now? Oh God.
Oh.
Oh my God. The Browns. I just can't with the Browns anymore.
Oh, they got to do something or completely rebuild. Like none of this half stuff. Like
Cleveland is where
bad.
careers go to die. I want to blame the leadership. I want to. I want to blame the head coaching turnover. I want to blame ownership. I really do. But at some point, I have to zero in on Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
I don't want to because I feel bad for him in his scenario, but I don't feel as bad because he has Nick Chubb, he has Jarvis Landry, he has OBJ, he has Austin Hooper now. Yeah. He has everyone. There really shouldn't be an excuse at this point. So,
I mean, if you really think about it, look back at that draft class for quarterbacks: Mayfield, Darnold, Allen, Rosen, Lamar Jackson. Who's still playing well in the league? Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Like those first couple of quarterbacks are not panning out, and it's not good.
And Sam Darnold and Josh Rosen, kind of the same scenario as Baker, just put in bad situations. The Jets are just we've talked about that already. The Jets are a mess. Josh Rosen was put with the Cardinals, where the Cardinals still don't have a good offensive line, and Josh Rosen had an even worse offensive line when he was quarterbacking there. Then he got sent to Miami when Miami was tanking. He hasn't really been put in the scenario very well, and they've given everything to Baker that you could want on an offense except a head coach. So maybe that's the problem. Give him a couple weeks, everything will be fixed. Who knows? I tried watching this game. I really did. The Chargers beat the Bengals 16-13. I tried my best, but this was one of the most boring games ever. And I understand it was Tyrod Taylor, and we all know his style of football. Yep. Short passes, cut some RPO, nothing too terribly exciting. And then you have a rookie Joe Burrow on the Bengals, who we already am well aware of is not a good team. And he did his best. He almost won the game. Like you said, A.J. Green push-off would have been a touchdown.
Yeah.
That could have won the game. They could have tied the game, but Randy Bullock's a fat piece of crap. He missed a chip shot field goal and hurt himself at the same time because he's out of shape.
Oh.
He's a big dude.
Yeah.
He's an older dude. He's a big dude. God, that really was the funniest video. I don't even care because that was normally you're not supposed to laugh. People get hurt. How much you want to bet he didn't actually hurt himself? He just kind of missed the field goal. He's like, oh, I got a cramp. Oh, yeah, I got cramped up. There was a possibility of that. I mean, I don't think Joe Burrow looked terrible. He did the best with what he had. He threw one interception.
Not bad for his first NFL game. Just one interception
with the Bengals.
Yeah, that's very true. Like if you had to rate it, it's probably I want to say a solid B+, maybe A- for a rookie quarterback first game with the Bengals.
And the Chargers have a great defense. I think they have a great defense. I'm all in on the Chargers defense. Sadly, Derwin James isn't there, so maybe that affects it, but that's a good defense, and he was out of the pocket running around a lot. Oh, there he is. He's back. Hey, he called me Slappy. You picked the Dolphins, right? I kept my receipt. Yeah, we already talked about that. Yep. You missed it, just barely. You just barely missed me admitting my guilt that Fitzmagic did not show up. And, yeah. But they scored 11 points. At least give me that. They scored 11 points against the Patriots. There we go.
Yeah.
There's not really much else to talk about with the Chargers and the Bengals. It's new offenses. It was rough to watch.
Yeah.
We'll see where we go from there, I guess. This week 1. Sorry I'm late. Tom's sorry he's late. That's okay. We're here for you. This is why we do the show a little longer these days.
Yeah.
We don't have the commitment to stay in an hour. Hopefully some new people join in later in the show. So thanks for tuning in, Tom.
Yeah.
Because right now we're about to go talk about the Bucs and the Saints.
Oh, yeah.
boy, oh boy, the battle of the NFC South. Here's a fun stat. This one I remember. This one's off the top of my head, but I remember this one. Cue the music. Tom Brady has thrown a pick six in the last 3 games consecutively. He has thrown a pick six in his last 3 games.
That's not good for him. That age 42 is looking a little rough for these days.
Oh boy, maybe it's starting to catch up a little bit. Can't see that defense as fast. Can't move your feet as fast. Your arm, you can't zip that ball in there as fast anymore. And Bruce Arians lit him up. Post-game interview, he lit him up. He didn't hold back, and that's what Bruce Arians is known for. Bruce Arians said, I don't know. He looked good in practice. He looked like Tom Brady in practice, but he looked awful out there. He just straight up said he was, I don't know. He looked like shit. I don't know, I don't know what you want me to say. And he had a rushing touchdown, which was fun. That was his first touchdown, was a rushing touchdown. He did throw 2 touchdowns, but overall the Saints had it. The Saints had the day. Tom Brady, he learned a valuable lesson. Yeah, maybe Bill Belichick, you two could have got along a little better, maybe. Should never have loose through. Yeah, there he goes. Bruce threw him under the bus. Hey. What, did he deserve to be thrown under the bus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, Bruce Arians is going to tell you how it is. Bill Belichick would have been so pissed off that he would have been like, we're on to Kansas City. We're on to Cincinnati. That's what it was.
We're on to Cincinnati.
But, yeah, I mean, he looked rough. But, I mean, that's the Saints, though. Like, the Saints are my Super Bowl team out of the NFC and my prediction. So, the Saints got something clicking, and I think they're gonna be okay. The Saints are gonna. I think the Saints sweep the Buccaneers.
Sweep them. Yep. Yeah, and that's interesting. Yeah, because Tom says they look sloppy, but they'll pull it together. It's week 1. This is what we do. It's overreaction Tuesday for us. Normally it's overreaction Monday. It's overreaction Tuesday. Maybe they pull it together. It's Tom Brady. I'm sure he'll be up all night, all week. He'll be up, and he'll be watching game tape, figuring out what went wrong, if wide receivers were in the wrong spot, if he threw it in the bad place. He'll figure it out. He's a smart guy. But it was not a good showing. It was not a good debut for Tom Brady.
No, it wasn't.
Cardinals and the Saints, NFC champs for Tom, for an NFC championship game for Tom. That's spicy.
That is spicy.
That's spicy. I said the Cardinals will have a very good year. I said the Cardinals, my hot take, the Cardinals will be better than the Niners, which is actually our next game. Holy crap, that lined up perfectly. Thank you, Tom. The Cardinals, he says Michael Thomas is ruled out for the next game. Yeah, he had some kind of ankle injury or something.
Ankle injury, yeah.
That's not good.
No, it's at least.
They have Emmanuel Sanders. And guess who doesn't have Emmanuel Sanders? The 49ers! Ah! I love it. I love how all this is lining up right now. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
What were you going to say? I just thought that was funny.
You know who the Niners do have now? Breaking news. Mohamed Sanu just signed with the 49ers.
Ooh, it was only a matter. That was a guarantee.
Oh, yeah.
I've been waiting. I'm surprised it took this long. I don't know why it took this long. Yeah, that was. I have Mohamed Sanu on the bench on one of my fantasy football teams because
waiting for him to get picked up.
I knew for a fact he was going to be a 49er. So that's finally happened. Thank God for the Niners fans out there. But the Cardinals this past Sunday the Cardinals beat the Niners. DeAndre Hopkins. Deshaun Watson was sitting on his couch on Sunday, eating a bowl of ice cream and crying in the dark, watching DeAndre Hopkins catch like 14 balls for 150 yards. Very, very good day from D-Hop and Kyler Murray. It was a little sloppy at first. Honestly, I watched the game. Kyler looked rough. They just seemed like they're not on the same page. Yeah, they figured it out real quick. But on the side with the Niners, like we just got done talking about, Tom says it's a sneaky good signing. It is. It's a little sneaky. It's a good signing. They need it. They need it so
Yeah,
bad.
they really do.
But because right now, if Raheem Mostert wasn't a 49er, they probably would not have scored double digits on offense, if I had to guess. He's the only reason they moved that football. Because George Kittle, granted, George Kittle suffered a little bit of an ankle injury there. He got banged up in the first half. Raheem Mostert was their leading rusher and receiver by a lot.
Oof. Yeah.
So I'm surprised they scored 20 points, but they figured it out. It's what I predicted. Ayuk will be back. He'll be able to make his debut next week, their wide receiver. But man, I guess Mohamed Sanu will make his 49ers debut as well. They need that desperately because that offense looked horrible.
Yeah. That was I didn't see much of this game, but yeah, Cardinals looked hot.
Yeah. I was not as happy with Kenny and Drake's performance running the ball, but overall, yeah, the Cardinals are kind of who we thought they were going to be. Very good performance against that 49ers defense, which, to be fair, is still very good, but not as good as last year.
Yeah.
Another shocker here, the Rams downed the Cowboys in Sunday Night Football in SoFi Stadium. The $5 billion stadium got its first W from the Rams. Just, I just got two things for this game. One, the Rams looked like that offense that we saw when they went to the Super Bowl, which is concerning for me. It is quite concerning that, the Rams are looking like the offense that they were. They rotated in and out the three running backs, which they said they were going to do, and they kept their word. I think it was like Malcolm Brown, Henderson, and Cam Akers, the rookie. I hate how I knew all three of those. Holy crap, that's pretty good. Right off the top of my head. That's not even in the notes, folks.
No.
They played outstanding. That offense played. They had a couple hiccups here and there, but when they had some amazing sustained long drives. And then the other thing was just the Cowboys.
Oh, the Cowboys.
God, the Cowboys. Continuing to disappoint. That offense, Michael Gallup, Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, 17 points.
Not good enough.
17 points. Oh, boy. Like, what are you going to do with these Cowboys, man? And this is where Strikeout Beer stated the question, who should be competing against the Washington football team right now for the division? And it's the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And I know Mike McCarthy's the new head coach, and this is the case with a lot of teams. New quarterback, new head coach. This is what we get for this season. A lot of teams trying to figure out their teams because they're very new. And this is kind of one of them with the new head coach, new philosophy. But it's barely that. You cannot use that as an excuse here. Maybe a little bit, because you still have what's his name? The offensive coordinator they kept. Why am I blanking?
Oh, Kelvin Clemens.
Oh, Kellen Moore?
Or Kellen Moore, yeah.
Sorry.
Wrong sport.
Yeah. Hey, you got the first name, I got the last name. We're good. They kept Kellen Moore strictly because Dak Prescott did not want to lose him. But you scored 17 points. These people have to turn it on at some point. If this team goes 8-8 again, it's what I already said. Dak Prescott's out the door. If they don't make the playoffs, even if they get in the playoffs and lose in the first round, Dak Prescott's gone. 100%.
Yeah.
And that should have been my hot take, but it's not really a season hot take. It's like a postseason or off-season hot take. He's not a Cowboy anymore. And right now they're heading in that direction. 17 points against the Rams on Sunday Night Football. Sad.
Yeah. It's really sad. I mean, I think I didn't see a ton of this, but I really think my only take is I still do not like those Rams uniforms. They are still so bad.
I think a lot of people forgot.
I think so too.
People forgot how much we hated those uniforms when they came out. Yeah, they still look bad. Don't forget, we still hate that.
The colors are just so weird.
Yeah. It's like that dark blue on that gray and then this bright yellow horn.
Yeah, no.
Something about it. Cowboys are best team on paper. And they've been the best team on paper for a while now, but if you can't put the paper into play.
Yeah, that's their motto, the Cowboys. Best team on paper. Not America's team, best team on paper.
Can we make that t-shirt? Is that a good t-shirt idea? We'll put that on the on and off the field store.
I think that's a good t-shirt idea, yeah.
Cowboys, America's team on paper. Ooh, America's team on paper.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Hold on. Cowboys, America's team on paper. There we go.
Literally on paper.
Literally on paper. I just wrote it on paper. I should just take a picture of that and put it on the t-shirt. Somebody said it looks like Best Buy uniforms. Yes. That is exactly what it looks like.
That's a very good reference there.
The Steelers and the Giants.
Yeah.
That Big Ben started out bad.
Yeah, he did.
Very bad start for Big Ben. I thought maybe by the end of the game he would be benched. That's how bad he was looking. And it's kind of like what you said throughout the game, what you said about Matt Ryan, about not being able to move around in the pocket, not being able to escape pressure. There's a couple of scenarios where Big Ben is getting like arm sacked by a guy, and he's trying to brush him off, but then they finish the sack. Those are the things Big Ben could get out of before.
Yeah.
That's what made him Big Ben. You couldn't bring him down. You just couldn't. He's too big a guy, too strong. That's not who he is anymore. But he did shake off the rust. He loosened up those old bones, and he put on a 3-touchdown performance.
Yeah.
Danny Dimes had his ups and downs, but he did as good as he could against that Steelers defense.
Right. Yeah.
Saquon Barkley had 15 rushes for 6 yards.
Pitiful.
Bruh. Some people used, pretty much everyone used a 1, 2, or 3 fantasy draft pick on Saquon Barkley this year.
Yep.
Ouch. But it was the Steelers defense. You can't really be like, I did not expect him to have a bad day. It's the freaking Steelers defense. I mean,
right.
It's probably the best defense in football.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I really think it's that Steelers defense that held the Giants from probably playing like they're probably going to play the rest of the year, it seems like. Because I don't know about anyone else, but I really think Jason Garrett is the right guy for that offensive coordinator position to help Daniel Jones get better, improve his game. Like, Jason Garrett shouldn't be a head coach, but that coordinator position, that is his calling. Like,
perfect.
Like, I had not seen a better Daniel Jones until last night after seeing some of his highlights from last year. Like, he looked a lot better, and I think that's going to be the growth. I think we're going to see growth throughout the year, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there was that deep touchdown pass to you messaged it in the group chat, and then I responded. The first words that came out of my mouth when he threw that touchdown pass was Danny Dimes. Boom, right there.
Yeah.
Fred comes across on my phone and says, Danny Dimes, baby. I was like, yeah, Danny Dimes. He's not bad.
No.
And like you said, Jason Garrett, I think this is going to be a great progression year for Danny. I don't think this defense is awful. The offensive line obviously has problems. It was a revolving door for that Steelers front seven. But I think Danny will have a decent year as long as the wide receivers can stay healthy. That was his problem last year. Everyone was hurt. Even Golden Tate wasn't out there week 1 because he was active. So, and then the last game, I don't know why I stayed up until almost 2 a.m. to watch this. It was the biggest regret of my life. But Steven Gostkowski. Let's start with Steven. 0 for 2 on field goals, and then 1 for 2 on extra points. He's having a bad day. Really no bad day. See, if this is something you want to take away from the show, our last game, we'll give you a little bit of, encouragement. On and off the field is here to help you. On and off the field is here to encourage you to move forward in the rest of your week with your head held high. So, if your Monday and Tuesdays went bad, Steven Gostkowski, 0 for 2 on field goals, 1 for 2 on extra points. He gets up off the bench near the end of the game. His team is down 14-13. He goes up there and he nails that go-ahead field goal, which ends up winning them the game. That's a vet move, baby. And that's how you should tackle your week. That's how you should tackle every day. If you get knocked down, if you think you suck, you're having a bad day, you're 0 for 2, just get up there and kick it again. Because this time, you never know when that one's going to go through. And guess what? That's the one that mattered. That's encouraging stuff right there.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah. Get you pumped up?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's 8:30 at night. I'm pumped up. I'm going to go to the gym now. Outside of that, I don't know. It's Titans football. The Broncos are like a whole new team. They're going to need time to figure things out. They looked rough. But Derrick Henry, 31 carries. Ride the ball there. 31 carries for a little over 100 yards. So he did break 100 yards, but on 31 carries, is it really impressive? I don't really know. But, Ryan Tannehill, 249, 2 touchdowns. It was Titans football.
Yeah. I mean, 249 for Tannehill is actually pretty decent.
Yeah. Over the course of a game there. I don't know how many attempts he had. I did not write that down.
Yeah.
I didn't see a whole lot of deep balls when I was watching the game. Seems like a lot of, in the flat, catch and run.
Right. Yeah.
It was so boring. I'm sorry. But the Titans won. And I'm going to live and die by that Gostkowski reference of how to pump up you and the rest of your week. So there you go, folks. I hope you enjoyed that. That's because that's all I got out of. That's all I got out of this game. Everything else was trash. I guess the only other thing I figured out was Derrick Henry is still going to be driven is still going to drive this Titans offense one way or another. 31 carries, and probably a couple catches too. They're going to drive this man into the ground one way or another. Do you have your what you got right, your record from this past week for your game picks?
Like my overall record for the last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 7-9.
7-9? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what I got. I'm looking it up right now before we end the show.
Yeah, there was a couple picks that we agreed on that we both kind of took the loss on them, but I did not do good for Monday night.
I got 9 right. You said you got 7?
Yeah.
I got 9. Yeah, I lost I picked the Lions, I picked the Vikings, the Colts, Panthers, Dolphins, Eagles, and I picked the Cowboys. But I got 9. I'll take 9.
Yeah. Yeah, Monday night's what could be split Monday night, so that was the swing.
Yeah, there you go. I'll take it. I'll take the win. Thank you, Fred. I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking some bad picks for Monday night there. I really appreciate that. Take the time. All right. Well, that's our show. That is week 1 recapped in the NFL. This is what you are going to come to expect from us on Tuesdays. Maybe we'll try and speed it up. I don't know. It's just I can sit here and talk football for another hour and a half if you want. We'll just start diving into fantasy football. We'll start talking about it. We'll just talk and talk. I'm all for it. Let's make our own football game. We'll go. I'll start throwing passes in my thing back here. No. Yeah, this was what makes it fun is the comment section. Mm-hmm. Thank you to Tom Casey. Thanks to Josh, TJ, the boys over at Strikeout Beer for interacting tonight. That's what we love. We love the interaction. So thank you very much. Go to onoffthefield.com for all your information. And Fred, why don't you give this people some advice?
Protect your nuts.